I'm writing this because I'm interested in these strange creatures. I want to know more about their appearance, origins, and behavior. This is what I have gathered so far. Little is known about the mysterious creatures that seem to haunt dark, abandoned areas of the world, also known as the false prophets and Demonio Pesadilla in Mexico. Accounts of these creatures following people have existed as far back as the 1970s. Although sightings have been all over the world, the description has been strangely consistent. A small, humanoid creature with a large head and a skull-like face. They are referred to as angels, primarily due to large black wings that apparently adorn their backs, although it is not known if they can fly or not. Although there are very few accounts of human interaction, we can conclude that these things are probably hostile and extremely dangerous. The following account was given in 2001 by a patient who cannot be named for legal reasons, but it is known to be the boy who survived an encounter with one of the creatures. The only picture that exists of what he referred to as the fallen angels are drawings he did after the incident. The patient has since committed suicide following a reoccurrence of bad dreams that plagued him as a young man. He recounts the event, which occurred in England in 1971 when the patient was a teenager. Him and his friend decided to investigate an abandoned bunker in the woods outside their village. The site had been left derelict for over 10 years and the hinges on the door had rusted away, allowing the teens to enter. The fast corridor led to the rooms, with beds for employees and meeting rooms. Most of the paperwork had been ruined by water damage from leaking pipes of guff, but the two boys could make out the FBI logo on the front of some of the files. Some of the files contained information referring to top-secret biological weapons they were testing in the bunker. These included experiments involving unwary patients being given LSD and locked away to see the effects. There was also reference to the Project MKUltra, which has since been uncovered by the government. It seems to suggest that there was a British sector of the MKUltra that seemed to have gone undiscovered until these two boys happened upon it. The teenagers decided to continue down the corridor, and then down some spiral stairs to another long corridor. After some time walking, they came to an area which looked suspiciously like a prison. Then they saw why the bunker had been abandoned. Claw marks could be seen on the walls and ceiling, and some of the doors had been torn off by something. As the boys walked along the corridor, they saw graffiti on the walls. They were in a different language, but have since been translated to pleas for help. Whatever was down there had been sending the scientists mad before it broke out. The boys turned a corner to find a large control room. They entered and found it looked like a big room with no form of lighting inside. The room had been since flooded and glass lay all over the room, indicating that whatever was kept there had broken out. The patient's friend opened a file which sat on the table. It explained a Subject 16, which had appeared during an experiment which involved a participant being locked in a room with a loud sonic resonator. As the screams of the patient got louder, the sound being played in the room also got louder. The file stated that all of a sudden the room went silent. The scientist opened the door and the patient was no longer there. They were about to leave when they heard a strange screeching noise and one of the scientists got dragged backwards by an unseen entity. The door was locked, but the scientist's screams could still be heard for hours afterwards. Another book lay on the table. It was a journal by a man named John Harrington, who was the head researcher of Subject 16. Here are some excerpts. February 11, 1960. Observation on Subject 16 remains the same. We have to keep the lights off or else they cannot be seen. Even night vision causes them to become blurry and they do not seem to give off any obvious heat signal. They rarely touch the floor and remain still, holding onto the wall with their heads turned facing us. I wish they would stop looking at us. February 23, 1960. We had to lock Yuri away today. The poor man had been shouting for days about demons and hell. It got too far when he started writing things on the wall. Everyone is scared here, so having him locked away is for the best. Still no word from America. Subject 16 remains the same. March 4, 1960. I, like most of us, have been suffering from bad dreams. They have all been similar. I am in a dark corridor running away from something. I can hear it behind me, clawing its way towards me. I wake up before it gets me.
I talked to the guys. They have had similar dreams. Subject 16 remains, as ever, the same. We hardly go in there anymore. Something is just wrong about them. Like they're not from this world. March 8. These aren't angels. They're the devil. Stop laughing at me. This is all our fault. All our fault. One just moved. That was the end of the diary. The boys, clearly frightened by now, decided to leave. However, they now felt like they were being watched by something. As they walked out, the lights began to flicker, and they started running. They suddenly heard a horrible screeching noise, but couldn't see anything behind them. As they got to the entrance, the light went out. One boy got grabbed and pulled back. The other turned around and looked into the darkness. What he saw, dragging his friend away, he would always remember. The picture in this article have been taken by the police when searching for the missing boy, who has never been found. In addition, sightings of the so-called fallen angels have cropped up in parts of America, reportedly where human experiments have also been performed. This drawing was done by a hunter who saw the back of one in the forest near an abandoned lodge. Since then, sightings have been reported as far as Germany and Mexico, but only eyewitness accounts and drawings have been given as evidence. Whatever the angels are, they cannot be seen under any form of light, and seem to dwell in places that have been abandoned or left derelict. If anyone has any information regarding the fallen angels, it would be most valuable in uncovering the truth.